Hello, I'm Felicia Vereen, always known as Fee.
Hey, Fee, and I'm your girl, Sharita 3, better known as Fred.
And we are Inspire Her, the Total Woman Podcast, a new podcast all about uplifting you.
Yes.
Because friends, face it, you are awesome.
We'll be chatting up about topics we love to talk about, all the things we as women must juggle every day, and the ish we complain about. But who's listening? Girl,
we'll chat about the struggle, the job, and about him. You know who we talking about.
Girl.
That boo, husband, boyfriend, ex, whatever you calling them today. Our lovely hellions, kids.
Our angels. But seriously, friends, life happens, and we don't always get a chance to talk about it. We take it on the chin and we keep it moving.
Because that's what we were told to do.
Yep.
But here on Inspire Her, the Total Woman Podcast with Red and Fee, we are the friends you love to hang out with. We are here to inspire her, the Total Woman.
Yes.
Hey, Red.
Hey, Fee. How are you, girl?
Girl. Woo. You really want to talk about that?
I know it's just been a heavy couple of weeks for you.
It has, but all in all, girl, I will tell you that I've learned a lot, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I've learned a lot, and I'm good now. I'm
Good.
I'm in a good space right now. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just trying to, take it day by day. I think just life in it. I think that's gonna be a new little catchphrase. Just life in.
Just
That's
life,
all.
huh?
Just
All
life
right. Well, we are back at it. Today, we are going to talk about a hodgepodge of things, but it's pretty much a message to our younger selves. So we're going to just talk about a lot of things that we wish we would have known back then. And hopefully, maybe some of you all that are listening, moms that are listening, will let your daughters listen, and maybe they can learn some things, or maybe even you can learn some things from what we're saying. Hopefully some of this stuff can still help you, because we're all at different stages in our life, right, Ray?
Absolutely, we all are. So definitely once we put this on air, we want you guys to put something, if we've missed something, because there's so much that we could tell our younger selves. Just feel free to add in. I was with a couple of girlfriends. One of the young ladies that we were going to interview at some point, Angela, and she asked the question, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And so she kind of just went around the table and asked us. I think mine was to live a little bit, to just be a little bit open, to be a little bit more free. I kind of shared my first couple of years of college and how I was kind of like, very reserved. The girls could tell you I was in the bed after dinner. But I
Yeah,
digress.
I heard.
Yes.
And I was the absolute opposite. I was, wow!
Yes. So I do miss that. I mean, I made it up a little in my early 20s, but yeah, I wish I would have done it a little sooner. So some of the other girls shared that they would have left or went up north, moved out, so and so. But anywho, what topics do you have? Like, what's the first thing
Well,
on our list to talk to our younger self about?
creating real, true, and lasting friendships. And I think we were blessed. We kind of did
Yes.
that at a very, very young age.
We did. We did.
We,
And it's funny that you say that because I was listening to the Steve Harvey show this morning, and Shirley Strawberry said that the average person, they did a poll, and the average person has about 16 friends. So I was like, oh, Steve didn't buy it, but I was thinking to myself, yeah, I think I probably have I could count about 16 friends. What about you?
yeah, I have some friends, you guys that I met in high school. I mean, I met Peggy in elementary school. I have some friends from church, because I was a church girl when I was younger. I
Mm-hmm.
still am. And I have some friends, some true friends that I've met along the way in college, and then jobs along the way. So then, you have friends, and then you have those friends that no matter how long it's been, you can call them and pick up just like it was yesterday.
Absolutely. And I think we talked about doing a podcast with the 7 of us
Oh
later on in the
yeah,
year.
that's gonna
Just
be a
talking about
riot.
our friendship. Yes, let's
That's
talk
gonna
about
be
our
a
friendship.
riot.
I think so too. I think so too. A bunch of characters. We're some characters,
Oh
but
my
we're all
God.
good people.
We have our own character and no one is alike.
But the friendships that these kids are developing now, it's a lot different than our friendships back in the day. I mean, because you're dealing with social media and people pretending to be who they are not.
Exactly.
We couldn't hide behind those social media personas like these kids can today. So you think somebody is genuine and true, but or a friend, but and who they are, but on social media they're a totally different person, or what they present.
Exactly. And then, you can't tell everybody. You have something that you want to get off your heart and you want to talk to somebody. And you can't do that a lot these days because your business will be in the street.
Yes.
As soon as you hang up the phone. And the one thing that I do appreciate about you guys, and I'm not naive enough to think that sometimes we don't talk to each other within our circles about some of the things that we have expressed, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I don't think
Mhm.
any
Mhm.
one of us would use it against each other. So I
Yeah, and
just
it's not done maliciously.
right. So I don't mind that, but if I do tell somebody, hey, I don't want you to tell anybody, not even the people in our circle. I would hope that that people abide by it, and I really and truly think that we have those kind of friendships that we would. But
Yeah.
having friends from high school and elementary, that says a lot. Man, we've been friends for a
Yeah.
long time, and
We
that's what you
have.
need.
We have. No, yeah, just to go through marriages, divorces, births of kids, deaths of parents. That's some heavy major breakups. That's some heavy stuff.
It is. It is. And to know that I can call any one of y'all and just talk and you'll have a listening ear. It's good. And when I say true and real, we treat each other like family.
Mhm.
And I don't
Mhm.
hide the truth from you or any of the rest of them. If I feel something, I'm like, friend, hey, I need to call you up and have this conversation with you. I
Yeah.
feel like something ain't right, and we accept it. Sometimes, you have to give a person just a little mercy sometimes because they may, like we were just talking offline, they may be going through something in their own little season. And that's okay.
Mhm.
That's okay. Nowadays,
Yep.
people, if you don't answer the phone on the fifth ring, they like, I can't believe you ain't answer the phone. Well, maybe I just didn't want to. And that's okay.
Mhm.
That's okay.
And
Give your
it's funny
friends a
when
little
you want to
breathing
take your
room.
yeah, and it's funny because when you want to take your space, it's like, do I tell this person I just need some space? It's not about you, or do you just not call them? I mean, because I've had situations where you just kind of take a break. You might be dealing with your own stuff. You just might take a break, and you're just not talking to anybody. And they're calling you, hey, just checking on you to make sure you're everything okay. Haven't heard from you. And it's like, yeah, everything is good. I just need some space. And sometimes you don't always want to talk about what's going on because you're still processing it yourself, especially if it was something major that had happened. You
Right.
just don't want to talk about it at that time.
And
Or
my thing
not
is,
to
I can
you.
say,
I don't want to talk to you about
right, right. I'm not, I don't think I want to talk to you. Ain't that I don't want to talk to anybody. I just don't want to
it.
talk to you about it. Motor mouth. I don't want to talk to you.
Mhm.
But it's okay. Like if I call you and I'm telling you right now, if I call you and I know you're going through something and I say, hey, what's going on? I just wanted to let you know I'm here for you and you say, hey, I appreciate that, but I don't want to talk right now. Fine.
Mhm.
Call me when you want
Ah,
to, or we don't have to talk
yeah.
about it at all. I just want you to know
Mhm.
that I'm thinking about you. And that's
Absolutely.
what's important to me. And I think, Red, as you grow older, you learn how to handle that because when I was younger, if my friend didn't want to talk to me and I knew she was going through something, I kind of felt like, wow, are we really friends? Because I
Mm-hmm.
want you to know that I'm that shoulder that you can lean on. I want you to know this. But now I know that sometimes you just want to sit still and be alone. And that's okay
Remember,
too.
and remember, backup friend, it ain't about you.
Right.
You know.
You had to y'all listen.
Back up.
Ray had to tell me one day I was getting in my feelings because I was like, but this, but that, she said, and she just simply said it. This ain't about you. And
Nope.
I'm like, oh, okay.
But
Because
you
I
know what,
felt
my
like she wasn't letting me be the friend I wanted to be to her. She was
right,
like, this,
right.
I'm going through something. This ain't got nothing to do with you.
Nope,
And
not at
I
all.
had to take it and understand that.
But you know
So,
what's frustrating is when people put blanket statements on Facebook and just, like my pastor said, Facebook ain't no therapy. And to me, sometimes I feel like that's attention seeking stuff. Because why
hmm
you need everybody to know X, Y, and Z? If you really going through stuff, stay off social media and deal with it. Ain't nobody on social media gonna help you deal with what you got going on. So,
nobody.
yeah, so that attention seeking stuff, that is like a pet peeve of mine because it's like, do you really want to solve the problem or resolve this issue, or do you just want attention for it? And some people don't like things to be resolved because then they can't get that attention. And some people like attention, whether it's positive or negative. Attention is attention.
That's true. Now, for me, I will say my situation that I just went through, when everything was over with, I did put out a message about what I had been going through, but I didn't want anybody to solve anything. That was just for the people that had called me, the people that had sent me a message or whatever that I didn't have the time or didn't want to talk to at the time, to let them know that I'm okay. This is what was going on and I'm okay. And,
Yeah, that
family
was
is okay.
very intentional. Yeah, that was very intentional what you did, and like that. Just let the masses know I'm good. Hey, I'm good, kind of thing.
Right,
let my friends know I'm good. But it was nothing attention seeking about it because you actually kind of shut down and took your space away from it to deal with what you needed to do. And on the other side, you posted, "Hey, I'm good." So if you
right.
coming with anything now, I'm in a better position to handle it as opposed to when I'm in the midst of the storm, you
Right,
know. And I
right,
don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or make anybody feel like they ain't my friend because I don't want to talk about it.
right, right.
Yeah,
And
but I would say value these friendships.
yeah, and like our next, we're like I said, we're talking about a hodgepodge of things, and like you were talking about your energy. This next
Mhm.
statement, I did put this out there. When I had gotten to the other side, I said, give yourself a break and
Mhm.
restart. Some people don't think that they can give themselves a break from family, from kids. People are like, you can't give yourself a break from your kids. Why not?
Right.
Why can't you? You can find
Right.
a babysitter. People go away for the weekend. If you need to take a break, some people go and go and go until they can't go anymore.
Right.
If you need
But
to take a
society
break,
judges you. Society will judge you if you feel like you need a break, and that's why a lot of people feel like they can't.
but why?
That's a good question.
Why?
That's
And
a good
maybe
question.
you guys out there can answer us. Why do you judge a person when they say they need a break from the friendship? They need a
Mhm.
break from maybe their kids for a weekend. They need a break from work. We all understand a break from work. But why can't you understand? I just need a break from talking. Because when I was going through my situation, I needed a break from talking. I just wanted to sit
Mhm.
and be still.
But guess
And
what? When I lash out at you, then I'm wrong, you know.
right,
And when you're feeling like you can't get that break, you end up lashing out. And a lot of times we end up lashing out at the people or the person who's the closest to us because they're in the close proximity. So you gonna get it. If I can't get this break, so that might be your husband, your boyfriend, your children, your coworkers, your friends, whomever. You know, you're going to project that energy, that negative energy, because it got to get out. It's not going to stay inside forever. It's going to get out. It's almost like that pot that's cooking and it's boiling over. After there's no more space in there, it's going to come out.
I
And that
agree.
that a lot of times that's what happens. But yeah, a lot of people feel like they need permission to take a break, or feeling guilty about it. Those kids will be okay. Your husband will be okay. That job will be okay. Your friends will be okay. Take care of you. Protect that energy.
Because if you don't take care of you, just like you said, you're gonna break down. You can be good for nobody.
Hmm.
Nobody. Not even your
Nope.
dog. I wasn't, at one point I wasn't even any good for Max. He was looking at me like, "You gonna feed me today?"
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Looking like what I do, what I do.
let me feed my poor dog. And the crazy thing is, Ray, and I know you know this because you have a dog as well. They can sense stuff because he stayed by
Oh
my
yes.
side the whole time. Anytime I was in this house, he was right there. I mean, closer than he had been in the past. One night, I was sitting
Mhm.
on the edge of the bed, and he was like laying on my feet, and I'm like, wow. I mean,
Mm.
and I just sat on the floor with him for a minute. But you have to get to a point where you understand when your breaking point is. And even,
Mhm.
we don't even have to get to our breaking point. Just take breaks ever so often, just to keep yourself revived.
And
You will appreciate it.
yes, and we take a lot of things for granted. Like, I was telling you about my massage thing, and it's like, having a massage, and for me, it's like, oh, okay, I can get a massage. But so that's like a luxury. A lot of, and it's a necessity for some, and but a luxury for most. And it's like,
Mhm.
that's something that we take for granted, to be able to get a massage, be able to travel out of town, to be able to, do things with our friends and spend time with our friends. Everybody don't have that. Everybody
Right.
don't have that support system. Either they don't have a family, they don't trust people because people are crazy and there's so much stuff going on. Yeah, a lot of people just don't trust people, especially with their kids, which is
I agree.
completely understandable.
I agree. And thank God I have people that are willing to step in the gap when I need to get away. Even for my dog, believe it or not, there's people who want to. Well, next time you go out of town, let me take Max, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. It's a blessing to have people that will do that for you. And
It
to
is.
me, you have to be that, and that says something to your character because you have
Hmm.
to be a good person for people to want
Hmm.
to do that kind of stuff for you, to want to call and
Absolutely.
check on you, see if you're okay, stand in the gap for you, be there for you.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
That's something that you can say about yourself. And going into our next little topic, value yourself in any relationship.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you not valued yourself and valued the other person more?
Especially my younger self, and even sometimes present day. I just think it's just a natural, especially when we are just natural nurturers. We are nurturers by nature. We ain't
Yeah.
naughty by nature. We nurturers by nature. We could be naughty sometimes too.
Uh-huh. But
We
yes,
nurturers by nature, and that's just what we do. We just nurture people and put people and their needs before ours so many times, especially women.
and that's true. And sometimes you just, like we were just saying, sometimes you just gotta say no. Sometimes somebody may want you to do something for them, and you have something planned for yourself, and a lot of times we will say, oh, okay, well, I can do that another day. I'll plan it for another day. Yes, I can help you. Sometimes you got to put yourself first, and you got to say no.
Most times you have to put yourself first, because people will Lean on you. And the more you give, the more they want.
That's the truth. That's
Yes,
the
the
absolute truth.
more you give, the more they want. So you definitely have to be able to set your boundaries. And we talk about this all the time. Just setting those boundaries with people.
Set your boundaries. Boundaries are a key because guess what? I'm not saying everybody because you got some great people out there. But some of those people that want more and more for you, those people you were talking about, when it's time for you to need them, they're like, "Oh, girl, well, I gotta go here. I gotta get my nails
Mhm.
done, so I can't pick that up for you, or I gotta do this, or I gotta do that." And you sitting back like, "But what about, what about me?
Right, right.
What about me?" So
Yeah.
be careful. I told Red as I grow older. And some
Mm.
of our friends have mastered this a long time ago, but I hadn't. As I grow older, I tend to pay more attention to people, and I'm gonna use the word you used today. I tend to pay more attention to people, and I tend to give other people my energy. I
Mhm.
tend to want to do for them, want to make sure they're happy. They're going through a hard time. I want to be there for them. I just want to do. As I grow older, I realize that I can't be there for everybody. I have to pick and choose. And I pay attention. Now trust me, I don't do anything for a return gift. I don't, what I do for you is what I do for you. And that's
Mhm.
just it. I don't expect anything back. But if one day I call you and I need something and you say no, and then I call you maybe sometime later and say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" and you say no, and if it's a pattern, you have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, you gotta keep your eyes open with that one.
Yeah,
Definitely gotta
and
keep your eyes open.
I think everybody should. I think to be protective of your energy, like you said earlier,
Mhm.
be protective of your energy. And I like that. Like I said, that's a word that I'm going to start using. Me and Red was talking about this offline. She said it. I am becoming more protective of my energy, and I like that. I don't think it's a
Yeah,
better way
don't
to say
everybody
it.
deserve my energy. Yeah. Our band director, I posted on Facebook and he used the word of your spirit. And I think it's the same thing,
Right,
use them interchangeably. My spirit, my energy to me is kind of the same thing. Um,
right.
but yeah, but I found a lot of people focus their energy on other people because they don't want to deal with their own mess.
Mm, yep,
I don't want to deal with
yep.
me. I don't want to deal with my mess. So I'm in if you got a busybody, somebody that's always in somebody's business, always doing something, they're trying to keep that focus off themselves because they
I
got
agree.
mess that they haven't dealt with.
I agree with
They
that.
still got stuff they dealing with. They still got mess they dealing with, and they're not. So it's easier for me to focus on your mess than to deal with mine.
I agree with that. I
Hmm.
totally agree with that.
It's so
People
true.
people will suck the spirit, the energy right on out of you. And
Like
look at
a freaking tick.
and look at you like, "Girl, what's wrong with you?"
Like a tick. Be like, goodness. And we talked about that, girl. I gotta go change my oil. You taking my energy. You get to taking my energy and just if I hang up the phone with you and I'm feeling drained, I'm like, I'm gonna take my space from this person.
Like, all right, y'all sure. Red said, if somebody call her or talking to her and we hear her say, "Girl, I gotta go change my oil," that just means she ain't thinking about you, what you saying. She ready to go. You ain't
Yes,
gonna
that
take no
means you
more of her
draining me.
energy.
Absolutely. You are draining my energy. And I feel like I like me, and so many people feel they don't like themselves. They don't like being by themselves. I love
I
being by
love
myself.
myself.
I would sit in this house all day, don't have to talk to nobody, don't even have to go nowhere. That's just me time. I have to decompress. So
Hmm.
many people pull on you all the time. So younger self, Don't allow people to pull on you, because the more you give, the more they want. The
You're
more you
absolutely
give, the
right.
more they want. So don't let people pull on you, and set your boundaries and learn to say no.
One of the things that I would tell my younger self, don't leave God out of your decisions.
Mm, mm,
A lot of times we
I
think
like that.
we are making these decisions by ourselves and we got total control over everything. I put a message out there today and I need to go back and edit it a little bit because I say you have control, and you do. You do. You have the control to pray and ask God about it. If you're having a bad day, if you're
Mhm.
having a bad moment, the rest of the people have bad days, bad moments, bad weeks, and they're like, oh my God, my life is miserable. No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
No, it's
Mm-mm.
not. You probably need to just sit down and think about it, pray about it. And if you're not a praying person, just think about it. I'm
Mhm.
not saying, everybody, my God ain't everybody's God. And I truly understand that. But sit down and think about it. A lot of times you can make the best decision for yourself. But if you just jump into stuff, you're not going to make the best decision for yourself or nobody else.
Mhm.
Take some
And you'll be
time.
fulfilling.
Right. Take some
Mhm.
time and think about it. So my younger self, I jumped into so many things that I should not have. Whew.
Yeah.
My mother, oh my God, Red. My mother was a praying person. She told me when I
Mm.
got out of college, she was like, my knees was hurting because I was messing with somebody that I was messing with somebody that just was not the best person for me at that time.
Mhm.
And she knew it. I mean, y'all, my mama. When she get that look on
Mhm.
her face, that means she ain't having it. She don't
She
like
let it
you.
be known.
She don't like you. She ain't gonna like you. You don't even need to be in her presence. And that's how she felt. And she was praying, praying constantly that I would leave this person alone, leave this person alone. And I did eventually, but um, sometimes you praying, you got somebody praying for you. That's your way out. Don't leave
Mhm.
God out of
Mhm.
your decisions. Don't do it.
Nope. Not at
Learn that
all.
at a learn that at a very early age. You can't leave them
Absolutely.
out. You cannot.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, because I was talking to somebody. So we were just having a conversation, and it was like, in your 20s and 30s and 40s and all that kind of stuff. So they talked about, like, in your 20s, like, every woman should go through what they call a quote unquote a whole phase. What do you think about that? And it could be just dating. I mean, when you say a whole phase, it don't necessarily have to be intimacy or sex, intimacy or whatever. Just kind of dating around, dating different people, because some people, they like, I'm gonna date this person, I'm gonna get serious, that's it. That don't work out, I'm gonna go to the next person to date. A lot of times we don't know how to date. What is dating? So
I
do
will
you
tell
think we should
you,
go through this whole phase?
yes, you
I agree.
ain't settled down until I was 32. I was
Mhm.
traveling. I was doing everything I was big enough to do. I
Mhm.
dated. I met someone, I think I was about 27, 26, 27, and we got engaged. That didn't work out. And then I met somebody and I got pregnant and I had my daughter at 32. I don't think that I would have been able to be the person that I was for India had I had
Mhm.
her any younger. Because
Mm.
like I said, I
Mm.
was the president of an organization who was paying for me to travel all over the place. And I wasn't able to sit still. I didn't want to sit still. I
Mhm.
wanted to be here. Somebody said, Felicia, come go with me to New Orleans. I was there.
Right.
My cousin said, Felicia, come to Philly. Let's go to the Bahamas. I was going
Mhm. Mhm.
because I was working hard. I was working out. I was looking good. And I just wanted to have fun.
Mhm.
I did. I wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
And
That's what I told my daughter. She's 22. I said, I want you to enjoy yourself. Don't be getting into no relationship. Don't be, dating. You got plenty of time to do that. When I was 22, I had your brother. I had a child at 22. So I don't want that for you.
right. I
So
mean, I
enjoy
agree.
yourself.
some people, like my aunts and uncles, they knew that at a young age, they knew what they wanted to do.
Mhm.
They knew that they wanted to marry this person, they wanted to be with them, and they are in 50-year marriages right now.
Wow.
Um, However, at that age, I didn't. Things had changed, life had changed, the way people think changed. And I just, I knew that I wanted a great job. I got
Mhm.
that. I wanted to make good money where I didn't have to worry about anything. After college, I wanted to move out of the house with my mom and get my own place. I wanted a house. That's
Mhm.
one of the things that I will say that I got at a younger age that some people didn't. I wanted
You
a
did.
house, and I got my house at a young
Mhm.
age. I wanted to start building that up so that when I did have my child, I had a place that she could call home.
Right.
Not
The
that you can't,
foundation was there.
right? Not that you can't call an apartment home. You absolutely can. But I just wanted, I lived in apartments coming up, and then we lived with some other people at times. But I wanted a house of
Mm.
my own,
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
was important to me. So yeah, I don't like calling it the whole phase. But yeah, did I date? Did I enjoy myself? Absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
funny, and that's what you were supposed to. And it's funny that you said that we tend to either pattern ourselves after our mothers or do the exact opposite. And if we look, our daughters, we both have daughters, they're watching us and how we do things and how we operate,
Hmm.
and what we're doing. So, you know, when they become adults or older adults, they're going to kind of do the same thing when they begin to be independent and live their independent lives and that kind of stuff. So for me, it's just so important. Like I always said, I would never do anything, or I try not to do anything that my kids wouldn't be proud of me for, or would make them look at me or see me in a negative light. So everything I do, for God and my kids, I have to just make sure that I'm doing things that's pleasing.
I agree. I totally agree. Now, I got a question. That's
Hmm.
that's that's changing it up even more. A little different. Is college overrated? I'm asking my younger self. Was college
Mm.
overrated? I mean, because I had quite a bit of debt when I got out of college. It's all paid off now, but that's another reason why I wanted to wait to have my daughter, because I wanted to work and pay that debt off. But
Mm.
is it?
I think some people do. I mean, it's definitely some people that don't have college degrees that, maybe making more money than me and doing a little bit better financially, but are they working harder?
There's some millionaires that ain't never set a foot in college.
I agree. I agree.
I think for me, I
But
was
it's an
thinking about it.
experience. You're looking
It
at it
is.
education wise, something different, but college is where a lot of us learn to be well rounded. So it's more of a social gain than maybe a monetary gain.
I think for me, I want to tell my younger self, I knew that I was going to college. I wanted to be in business. There were things that I needed to learn.
Mhm.
When I decided I wanted to be an accountant slash financial analyst, I knew that college could teach me that. And I wanted that experience. I wanted to get out there on my own. A big part of it was I wanted to leave home, but I digress. I met a young man. He's in high school. He was just struggling with the ACT, struggling with the SAT, and
Mhm.
he was just sad. He was just sad. And I talked to him. He was just sitting in the hallway, and I'm like, "Well, what's wrong?" He's like, "I don't know what I want to do." Well, I work at a school, a boys' school. So when I say sitting in the hallway, and he was just like, "I don't know what I want to do." And I told him, I said, "Well, what do you know?" And he has his own little business. He does little stuff on the side. And I said, "Well, do you think you can make a business out of that?" He, I said, "Do you think college is for you?" So I think you have to ask. I would have told my younger self back then, hey, is college for you? Is that something that you really want to do? Is there something else you want to do?
Mhm.
Um, think about that. Because when I was going to school, college, it was college and it. You going to college. That was just it. I had no other
Mhm.
choice. I'm going to college.
Mhm.
Get out of high
And
school, you go to college.
yeah, and get
Now
out of this neighborhood.
kids have other opportunities. My daughter, before she started going to the private school she's in, she was at a school here in Savannah called Woodville. And in Woodville you have two different tracks. You have the college track and you have the vocational track. And they take
Mhm.
both of them at the same time. So that when they graduate from high school, they have a vocational certificate and they have their educational certificate.
Mhm.
So that if they wanted to go off and do something else, they could do that if they wanted to. And I think that's awesome because it gives the child that doesn't that struggle through high school, that does not think that college is for them, that gives them the opportunity to do something to and have something to look forward to.
Right. And I think you could do, even if you don't do college, at some point you can have some kind of formal education, whether it's taking a business class at your community college or something like that to kind of help you, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, or it can
So
be vocational.
it could
Some
definitely be vocational. It could be vocational in the form of a barber, a beautician, a nurse, an electrician, a plumber.
one of
Um,
the things that I can say here is that Gulfstream, they start training kids out of high school. So
mm,
you go from high school to working at Gulfstream.
oh wow.
And
But
and
then you
some
do that with no, I think somebody else did that. I thought we did that with Philip Morris. Maybe not.
I didn't do that. I did not do that. I did that out of college with Philip Morris.
Okay.
Um, but some people
I know
did.
Tina, one of our
Some people
friends,
did.
Tina. Yeah, then she worked that same
Tina
place.
did. I would tell my younger self to think about it. For me, if I had it all to do over again, I would go straight to college because that's something that I knew I wanted to do. But for that person
Mhm.
that does not know or does not think that they want to do that, you got to be thinking about what you want to do because then you can't be someone that's just living off your parents and not
Right.
working or doing anything like that. But have a plan in mind. Have a plan in mind. And I do appreciate these schools that are helping kids to have some type of vocational certificate along with their academic
Mhm.
um, degree or academic certificate. It's commendable. And I just thought that that was
Mm.
a good question to throw into our hodgepodge since we are talking to our younger self.
Mhm.
We
Absolutely. Another thing, as my younger self, I would definitely be more protective over my credit because
oh
once you
yeah.
screw that up, that's it. I would have told myself, don't you get that Discover card for $700 limit and you ain't got no daggone job.
No job. No job. They basing your credit card off of your financial aid.
Exactly. And girl, don't get all them student loans just to have some money in your pocket, you know.
Girl. But you
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna do a little commercial right now. That's what my book is about. Rock Your Money. You can get it on
Mhm.
Amazon. That's what my book is about. It tells you about all the mistakes that I made and how I learned from every last one of them. That book is really, even though anybody can learn from it, that
Mhm.
book is really for a young person to learn
Yeah.
from.
I want you to shop that book around to some of these high schools. Did you ever take it to your high school and take a couple of copies to the economics class or to the math class and
I
get some
have
information out of
not,
that?
and I
You
should.
need to do
I
that. You
really
work in a darn
should.
school,
I
see?
really should. I really should.
Yes.
I have not. I have not done that. And
Oh yeah, you need to
that's
do
me.
that.
That's me slacking. I've been depending on people I did some workshops and stuff for youth groups and stuff at churches and stuff, but I've not gone to any of the schools. I have not.
And
Thank
you're
you
doing
for
in private
that,
school
friend.
too. Yeah, market yourself. You know what? You have to market yourself and be you. You are your own brand, and a lot of people don't get that. You are your own brand. You have to market yourself. That's
I
with
agree.
jobs or side hustles, whatever. Everybody want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody want a little side hustle to say they got their own business. And you remember back in the day when used to be in the club or wherever you used to be, and people had these little paper business cards they done printed out on their home computer. Like everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wanted to own their own business. Handing out them
hmm
little cheap, flimsy cards. But
hmm
they were marketing themselves. I ain't mad at them.
I ain't mad. I still ain't mad at them.
Mm-mm.
Facebook
Mm-mm.
is full of it. They got a whole marketplace, and I be looking at some of that stuff like, why are you selling
No.
this? But you
Yes.
know what? I can't knock anybody's dream, and that's another
Mm-mm.
thing. Telling your younger self, make your dreams come true. If you got a dream, try it. Even if it doesn't work
Mm-hmm.
out, at least you can say that you tried it. And I'm talking, so now I'm talking to moms, people with kids, dads, because believe it or not, we got some dads who like to be inspired by her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't knock your kids' dreams. When my daughter told me we've done soccer, we've done volleyball, she's won flag football, Girl Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what haven't the only thing we haven't done was baseball, I mean softball and basketball. But if she told me she want to do something, I'm like, when? Where? Let's see if we can fit it into the schedule because you just never know. You never know
Right. And
what
you're making them
will
more
stick.
well-rounded too. You're making the kids more well-rounded as well.
Right, and I forgot, I'm
I
looking at a
will.
picture now. She played the flute. She played the flute.
Yes.
But even as an adult, even at your age right now, if you have a dream right now, I'm gonna tell you to go do it. Now, don't sink all your money into it where you
Mm-hmm.
can't pay your rent or your mortgage, but do it. Work on it. If your dream is to travel, save up for it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you get to that point and you can travel, go do it. Because, and I'm gonna tell you guys, and I said, that I might touch on this one day in the podcast, but I'm gonna touch on it now.
Okay.
I just had an uncle to pass. I had two uncles to pass. But
Mm-hmm.
this one, he was younger. My uncle, well, at our age, he's younger. He's only 10 years older than me. And I don't mind telling my age. Right now I'm 49 and he was 60. He was 60. And that's young. That's
It is young.
that is young for a lifespan. And I'm sure there were some things that he didn't get a chance to do. And
Mm.
he had a loving family. We're all very, very close. And like I told people, he was more like a brother than my uncle. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there were things that he did not get to do, things that he did not get to say. Um, And I tell people, no matter what age you are, even if you are 75, if there's something that you want to do it. Because nowadays you're not promised tomorrow.
You
You're
sure ain't.
not promised tomorrow. And there are people dying at younger ages,
Mm.
cardiac arrest. I heard some type of statistic that one out of every three people are dying from cardiac arrest. And it's like, there's no age limit now. You used to think,
Mm-mm.
oh, well, when I get older, you're not promised tomorrow. You're just not. So there's things that you want to do it. I'm not saying don't save for the future. Don't make sure you're prepared for the future when you retire, if you get to that ripe old age. Do all of that. But don't say, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait 10 years to do this, or I'm gonna wait 5 years to
Mhm.
do this. Do it now, because you
Absolutely.
never know. You just never know.
You're right. You're right. So
You
go
never
for
know.
it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for your
Go
goal.
for it.
Listen, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Or
Amen.
achieve, conceive, something like that.
I'm gonna
Make it
need you to.
rhyme. Put it
I'm gonna
in.
need you to figure that out.
Okay.
That's
Conceive
a
it,
good one.
believe it, achieve it.
Achieve it. There you go.
That's right. All of that.
Listen,
All that.
listen, listen. Inspire Her, the Total Woman, was created by women for women. But today, we talking to all of our younger selves. We're talking to all of your young people, and we want you to think about the things that we say. We talk about creating true and real friendships. Now, don't go around telling people that Red and Fee told you to end some of these friendships. But if you looking at one and you side eyeing her and she done some
Uh,
stuff, go
Girl,
ahead
this
and let it go.
confirmation. Look, this confirmation.
Go ahead and let it go. It's okay. Go ahead and let it go. If every time you call her and she like, girl, I got something to do, I can't help you today. I'm just saying, you might want to let that go. Create true and real friendships. And like Red said, we're going to have a podcast later in the year with all our friends, and we're going to introduce them to you. It's going to be a riot. You're going to have fun, though.
Yeah, definitely.
And we talked about giving yourself a break. It's okay. Give yourself a break and restart. Don't
Mhm.
forget to restart, but give yourself a break. Don't leave God out of your decisions. That's one of the most important things I can talk
Oh
about
yes.
today.
All
Don't leave him
decisions.
out. And value
Mhm.
yourself in any relationship. I don't care what relationship it is.
Yep.
Value yourself. Sometimes you gotta put yourself first. Because if you
Most
don't,
times you got to put yourself
you
first.
keep, most times you gotta put yourself first. Because if you don't value yourself and take care of yourself, you're not gonna be any good to
Mhm.
anybody else. And
And
I've
see,
learned
putting
that.
yourself first don't mean that you're selfish, and a lot of people get that twisted. Putting yourself first don't mean that you are selfish.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And then our last debate. Now this is gonna be a debate. Somebody gonna call me and say, "See, you told them people they ain't had to go to college." That's not what I'm saying. I said, is college overrated? And for some people it
Mhm.
is. Don't force. I mean, I've had some people that I went to college with that did not graduate. And guess what? You still gotta pay that money back. They
Mhm.
went and played around in school and made F's, and you still got to pay that money back. So
You
make
showed.
sure that college, and then some of them, I'm not going to name no names, but I knew somebody that was in college for like 7 years,
They call them
getting a,
super freshmen,
getting a
super
4 year degree.
seniors, super seniors. Call
Super
them super
seniors.
seniors.
So, know that that money, you still got to pay it back no matter what. Unless you
You
got some
do.
grants and stuff that, that free money. But those loans and things that you keep getting, you got to pay that back. So be sure that that is something that you want to do, because there's other ways. There are other ways. Believe me, there are other ways. You can become an entrepreneur. That's something that you want to do.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Absolutely.
This is what we would tell our younger selves.
Mhm.
These are things
Mhm.
that if I could sit down with my younger self,
Mm.
I'm not gonna say that I totally regret the decisions that I made in my life, some of the bad ones, because if I hadn't made it, I wouldn't learn from it.
Mhm.
But I would like to warn my younger self about some of the things that I really didn't have to go through, that I chose to go through with my eyes
Correct.
wide open.
Correct. And grow old gracefully. Because if God willing, it's going to happen. Don't
Yeah.
stay stuck. Mature. Grow old gracefully. 'Cause,
Yeah.
it's a blessing to be 50 in this day and age, you know?
Hmm. And don't go out
Yeah.
there, don't go out there looking like, looking like the woman that's trying to hold on to her 20s, looking real
Oh my
crazy.
goodness. Yes. That is a hot mess.
If you still got
Yeah.
it, I'm good with you, sis. But some of y'all ain't
Mhm.
got it. And I'm putting myself there. I ain't going out with no 20, with no, some of them outfits that I see out there. I'm like, yeah, that outfit ain't made for me
Mm-mm.
no more.
No.
But my 20-year-old self, mm, yeah, I might avoid it.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Girl, with this bad knee, I can barely wear heels anymore. I'm gonna dress
Mm-mm,
me
not
up in
you.
sneakers, and I know
Not
I used to
you.
wear
Not
heels
the
all
not
the
the one who
time.
had on heels all the time.
All the time. I can't wear them now. Wow, yeah, I can't wear them now. It's just
That is a
ridiculous.
stage of getting older,
Yes.
and that's just it. That's just it.
Mm.
I am I am feeling some. I don't have any knee problems, but I'm feeling some cracks. I'm like, ooh,
Some aches and pains.
girl,
Ooh, girl,
what
it's
in the
about to my
world?
shoulder. It's about to rain. Rain coming. The way my shoulder hurt.
Like grandma used to say, oh, it's getting ready to rain 'cause I can feel it in my bones.
That's right.
Now we
Can't hop
saying
up
it.
like you used to. Shoot. Can't sit too long. Can't stand too long. Lord Jesus. But I'm gonna just accept getting old gracefully.
And that's just it. I think
Hmm.
we have a topic that we may do, growing older gracefully.
Mhm.
I think that
Mhm.
was
And
one of
who
our
handles it better? Like who
brainstorming
handles getting
topics.
older better, men or women? You know?
Mm, I don't know. I
I
don't know.
know.
I think
See that?
guys, I don't know. I think guys handle it a little bit better. But who
You
knows?
think so?
I don't,
Mm.
I think so. Like the silver foxes, now gray beards are in, and it's like, hmm,
Yeah, but it's a level of maturity once you've accepted that I'm getting older. I'm women like this, but a lot of times, men go through those midlife crises way more than
menopause,
women. Yeah, we have
menopause.
menopause. They go through the midlife crisis of
I call it
menopause. Absolutely.
menopause.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, we just wanted to jump on here real quick and talk to our younger selves. Talk to our younger selves and let our younger selves know that these are the things that we learned, and in the process of talking to our younger selves, if we can help any of our young girls out, help them understand to value yourself, because these little knucklehead boys, they still doing the same old thing. And that part has
Mhm.
not changed. So value
Right.
yourself. If you want to save yourself to you 30, you do that. If you want to save
Mhm.
yourself to marriage, you do that. If you
Mhm.
don't want to have kids until you have done everything that you want to do and are ready to settle down, you do that.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, you got to live with all of your decisions and you don't
Oh
want to
yes.
regret anything. You
Yes.
may, but you
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to
you definitely gonna
regret,
have some regrets, but yeah.
right? But you don't want to feel like, oh my God, my my life is not what I wanted it to be. My
Mm.
life is, you know, people have some huge, huge regrets. I have some
Yes.
regrets, but my life in general, as I look at everything, I did pretty good.
Oh,
I
you
did
did
pretty
very
good.
well.
And I think we
You
all
did very
did.
well.
All of us
Mhm.
friends, I think we all did things differently, but we all can sit around and laugh and feel good about the decisions that we did make.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yep.
my younger self, baby. I love you now, and I loved you then, and I thank you for some of the decisions you did and some of the decisions you didn't make.
Yeah. Yeah. And the last thing I would add, Fee, is to my younger self, if you didn't have one, find a mentor, a big sister, or auntie, your mom, somebody that can help guide you and shape you, to be that woman. If you see positive things in her, because we don't want you patterning yourself after somebody that, ain't doing what they supposed to be doing and not a good role model. But find that big sister that you can ask for advice or get support from and that kind of stuff. That's important to have a mentor.
That's a good
All
one.
of the females that we interviewed in the Boss
Mhm.
series, all of
Mhm.
them talked about having a mentor and how important it
Mhm.
was for them.
Mhm. And I have that. I have a mother that I just silently watched. I have aunts that call me up and express things that they felt like I should be doing. I had friends, parents, that told me I was doing a good job. So yes, I absolutely agree with you on that one. That definitely needs to be on the list.
Shoot, I have that now.
Hmm. And we also had, you talked about our band director from back in the day.
Mhm.
We didn't play an instrument. We were flag girls, dancing flag girls. And
Mhm.
he was a big influence on us, huge influence.
Mhm.
And my JRTC teacher, he was a huge influence for me. So ladies, it can be a man or a woman as long as
Yep.
they are invested in you. And I say invested, and invested can just be wanting to give you kind words of
Yep.
encouragement.
So important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And my old self, I'm gonna call it a night. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys spending this time with us and listening to some of the things that we would tell our younger selves. We want to hear what you would tell your younger self. Put it in the comments. Send us some messages, guys. We love, 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 love,
Mhm.
love to hear from you. And just just adding this piece in there for those of you who sent me your sentiments on Facebook and Messenger, letting me know that you wish my family blessings, that you wish that my family praying for my family. I'm sorry, praying for my family. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I truly appreciate that with every bit of my heart. And you don't know how far that went with me, but just being able to read those from some of my friends, um, and from some of you guys, which is crazy because I knew who you were, but you all were because you called me Fee, and you told me how much you appreciated the podcast with me and Red, and you just wanted to say your send
Mhm.
your sentiments to me and my family. So I truly appreciate that.
Nice.
Red,
Yep. That's all I have. We
all right,
appreciate you. We
guys.
got some good stuff coming.
Don't let me forget that. We gotta talk about we're gonna talk about a couple of things that we have coming up. Our next episode after this is dating over 40. So you
Mm.
ladies that are over 40 or 40 and over, listen out to our next episode. This is truly gonna be an eye opener, something that you
Mhm.
want to listen to, because dating at 20 and 30, okay, dating at 40, it's a little something different. It's a little something different. You've learned a little bit at 40. Then we're
Totally
gonna
different.
absolutely. Then we're going to have an episode called Getting Your House in Order. And getting your house in order means um, getting your will and everything set up. Making sure that you got whatever you want your kids to have, any family members that you have that you have enough insurance to take care of yourself because you don't want to leave a burden on your family that they can't cover. So if you have the means, we're gonna have a lawyer on, one of Red's friends, and she's gonna help us understand what we need to do to be prepared, and not just um if not just for death, but just what we need to be prepared just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to have some fun, guys. You don't want to miss this one. On October 6th, I believe it is, we are going to do a live, Date Number 40 is going to be live as well. But we're going to do a live, it's going to be No Holds Barred Part 2, the couples version. So we're going to ask these couples, how long were you married? How'd you meet each other? And how are you able to stay together? What keeps you all glued together? And guess who's going to be a guest? Red and her husband. We can't wait because she's not going to be a host. She's going to have to answer some questions, y'all. She's going to tell us.
Yeah, I'm going to have to answer some questions.
She gonna tell us, what's the glue? What's helping you all stick together? And we're gonna be listening intently. I know I am. But that's what we got coming up for you guys, and hopefully you will find these topics entertaining, interesting, and you will log on to listen. We're going to be live on Facebook, and hopefully we can get it up on YouTube as well. We want you to subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to podcasts. I'm sorry, to Podbean. We are on most of your major platforms, if not all of them. So whatever podcasting system you like to listen from, whether it's Apple, Spotify, we're on there. Just look for Inspire Her, the Total Woman with Red and Fee. We love to have your comments. Let us know what you're thinking about us. We appreciate it. Whether it's good or bad. We like the good, but we also want to make it better. So let us know what we need to do to gain your interest. Let us know some topics you want to talk about. Because we brainstorm, but you can also tell us some topics that you want to talk about.
Absolutely. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yes, yes. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and say good night, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this.
We are here to inspire her, the total woman.
Yeah.